Welcome to Bible Logos. My name's Laura Worcester and I'm your broadcast host. Today I'm excited to introduce part 1 of the message, Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing. Please like and share this message on social media with your friends and family. All right, here is part 1 of Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing.
The 11th chapter of Hebrews, verses 1 and 6, from the New King James Version of the Bible, reads as follows. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Verse 6 says, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. Before you take your seats, would you just look at a couple of people, 2 or 3 people, and tell them, neighbor. Ain't nothing like the real thing. Look at somebody else and tell them, neighbor. Ain't nothing like the real thing. Come on and put your hands together as you take your seats. The hashtag that I'm putting on this message is what faith is not, what it isn't. Another hashtag is faith imposters or fake faith. We've been studying the past couple of weeks about faith, and we know a couple of things, one of which is that if we are the just, God requires us to live by faith. Another thing that we've learned about faith from the scripture is that it is impossible to please God without faith. And one thing that I hope that we're seeing and getting from these messages is that your blessings, your healing, your victory, your being brought out, your deliverance, all of those things are tied directly to your faith. And as I was preparing for this message, one of the revelations that the Lord gave me was like a well. You know what a water well is? Anybody here ever seen a water well? Yes. Some of you all are familiar with that? It's like a water well. And, you know, put the clip up for me. There are various components to a water well. See, with the water well, you have a crank, you have a bucket, you have the reservoir where the water is stored, you have a rope. And the revelation that God gave me is that if the bucket contains the blessing, if the bucket represents the blessing, the rope represents hope. The rope represents hope. But in order for you to get the bucket from the water into your own possession, you have to use the crank. And the crank is your faith. The crank is your faith. So your faith is the crank that reels in the blessing. So if we are going to walk by faith, live by faith, please God with our faith, diligently seek him as a result of faith, it would behoove us to know what faith is. And a part of understanding what anything is understanding what it is not. One way that you can know how to identify what something is to be able to eliminate things that it is not. And so today what we're talking about is the real thing, more specifically, what faith isn't. We're talking about faith imposters. We're talking about fake faith. So over here in Hebrews 11, verse 1, it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for. See that there? The substance of things hoped for. And so now if we see that it's the substance of things hoped for, we know one thing that it's not is hope. Right. Faith is not hope. So the first point I want to make is this. Biblical faith is not a wish. It's not a desire. It's not hope. Biblical faith is not a wish. It's not a desire. It's not hope. Well, let me talk about what a wish and a desire are. A wish or a desire is a want or a longing for something. You ever wanted something really badly? You ever longed for something? It's a longing for something. It's a craving. It's a yearning. It's a dream for something. That's how we define wish, and that's how we define a desire, but that's not the same thing as faith. To wish for something, to hope for something, to desire something is not faith. But then again, I've separated and made a distinction between wish, desire, and hope, because hope is defined not just as a wish or desire, but hope is defined as a strong and confident expectation. Yes. Okay? Hope is a strong and confident expectation. And one of the things that I want to point out, which is so important when we look at hope and define what hope is that hope is future. I'm hoping for something to occur in the future. So, for example, when I say, Lord, I thank you that you are going to heal my body, that's hope. It's not faith. It's hope.
Welcome back. We're just getting started, but I'm already excited about this word. Tune in tomorrow for part 2 of the message, Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing. And don't forget to like it and share it with your friends and family. I'm Laura Worcester, and I want you to remember that the sower sows the word, and therefore it is with the same measure you meet that it shall be measured unto you again.